Well, on our tour report for the Rocket Mortgage Classic, we're on to our Sizzlers. Now, these are guys who didn't make it into our re-ranked top 10, but they did make big jumps up in our re-ranking. And Elk, when we look at their stats, along with a lot of other factors, they really rose up for us. The first one that we're going to talk about is, well, you're big on this guy, and you can go into that. But Chez Reavie, coming off a pretty good week at the Travelers, a tournament he'd won before. There's a lot of form that we're seeing right now from Chez.
He's made up a lot of ground, Diane. To give you an example of that, he's 126th on the money list or FedEx Cup list. He will have to get inside of that, of course, within 4 weeks to keep his playing privileges for next season. But the last month or so for Chez has been 14th at Congaree. He qualified for the US Open, finished 40th. Last week, 25th. Does anybody think this straight hitting guy from Scottsdale is not going to keep going and keep his card for next year? Yeah. I'm pushing him as hard as I can into this, Diane. Great odds. I just think this is going to happen for Chez this week as far as good performance. I'm picking top 20 for sure.
Okay, and he's 90 to 1. Outright winner. So again, as you say, good odds. And when we did everything, he actually came up to number 11 in our re-ranking, so just missed out on that top 10 spot. So Chez Reavie is our first Sizzler. I love
red hot.
Yeah. And looking at these FedEx Cup numbers right now, I mean, it's so important because we know the guys are looking at them too, let's be honest. Our second one, well, he's out with the 125 right now, so he has to do something good. And again, we saw some sparks from him at the Travelers. Mark Hubbard is our second Sizzler at 125 to 1.
Hubbard lives here in Houston, played some golf with him when the pandemic hit here at Champions Club. Anyone that follows Hubbard knows he's sort of a self-deprecating, sort of a hippie child from California. And he gets hot and he gets playing well. And some of these guys, Diane, that struggle all year, they're just waiting for their chance to get playing well. And he's playing well right now. I've been watching his scores. I've been seeing his stats on the computer. And I think Hubbard, he knows what's at stake. He wants to stay exempt on this tour. He doesn't want to go back to Corn Ferry.
Yeah.
And I think this is a perfect pick for Sizzler this week.
Mm-hmm. And as you say, good finish in a tie for 13th at the Travelers last week. And I mean, it's not like he had one low round that shot him up. He played great, 69, 65, 69, 69. So very consistent throughout the week. And
playing well.
Yeah, that momentum with the drive that he has to make big moves up that FedEx Cup ranking board to secure his card for next year. There's a lot of motivation for him.
There's the most motivation you could ever imagine. And when all these players arrive at this golf course this week, Diane, they all know that 25 under or 20 plus under is going to win this. So they have to position themselves in their head when they're playing practice rounds. How am I going to play? How am I going to get 4 under each day? Oh, well, I can reach these 2 par 5s, or I'm going to get 5 wedge shots on this golf course. I've got to get chances on those 5 holes. So they start to plot their way around the course. And the way I handicap things is I always give a huge advantage to guys that are already doing that. They're already in form. When I think of my other friends like Pat Perez, who was a Sizzler last week, who said he didn't have it and his swing wasn't on and finished up missing the cut. Okay, fine. So where do you put him and Hubbard? They're both very close on the money list. Hubbard has a distinct advantage already this week, starting this week, because Pat's got to start over with thinking about what he's got to do. So this all comes into our thinking.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great explanation. Our third and final Sizzler is my pick, actually. This is a guy that I was big on, and at 70 to 1, Maverick McNealy made some big jumps up. Now, he's coming off some alright play, 30th and 20th in his last 2 finishes. He finished in a tie for 8th last year at Detroit Golf Club, and he's 70 to 1. He's been in the mix, AT&T Pebble Beach at the start of the year. He was in contention. Eventually that was won by Daniel Berger. McNealy was there for the duration of the weekend, but I think 70 to 1, this is pretty good for a guy that has played well on this course before.
Maverick McNealy almost plays good every week. He's always 9 holes or 6 holes away from just busting out. I watch him quite a bit. Straight hitter, you know, very mechanical player, very mechanically sound, I should say. Everything about him, you know, is built to sort of be a straight hitter. And he's sort of like a clone of Patrick Cantlay. In fact, I think Maverick had a much better record in college than Cantlay did. Just waiting for Maverick McNealy to bust out, Diane. I think it's a good pick of yours this week. He's just very steady, and he's everything he's got about him is textbook.
And his top stats.
Let it go.
Yeah, when you look at his stats, by far his best ones are birdie average and putting average. So he's got that on his side this week on these greens. So our 3 Sizzlers are Chez Reavie, Mark Hubbard, and Maverick McNealy.